All right, so boom, welcome back to the Black Caliber podcast. I'm here with our lovely guest.
Tiffany Green, CEO of Dillonades Lemonades. We are a beverage company in the city of Philadelphia. We make freshly squeezed bottled lemonades infused with real fruit, preservatives, or artificial ingredients. Our product is super, super, super fresh.
It's good too. I've had like two bottles already. All right. So, what brings you up here to Lincoln?
Well, today I had the opportunity to speak in front of the business and finance students talking about entrepreneurship and my journey with my business. So it was really good to sit back and hear the stories of so many young, prosperous, and inspiring students at the college, and also for them to ask me questions about how I grew my business and ways that I could help them with ideas and things like that. That they plan on pursuing once they're done school.
Okay. Just a bit closer. Thank you. I think that'll be better. That'll be perfect. All right.
Start again, or you?
No, that's good now.
Okay.
So, what got you into making lemonade?
When life threw me lemons, I literally made lemonade. So Dillonades was originally Fruity Girl iced tea. So it was a hustle that I did for many years on Fridays and Saturdays throughout my city. I would ride to different barbershops and hair salons, and I would sell them iced tea, lemonades, and cupcakes. And I did that for years, like a lot of years. And it was during the time when I was acting and doing modeling and stuff like that. So I needed to be available for auditions. So I had to come up with a way to make money, and that was my hustle. I stopped for many years, and then I became a contractor. And then during the pandemic, I decided to bring it back up. But this time, I decided to make fresh lemonade. It wasn't from a mix. And I always told myself, if I ever do lemonade again and really take it to the next level, I don't want to have a lot of ingredients. So right now in our bottle, we have 3 ingredients: water, lemon, sugar. So you know what you're drinking. And then Dillonades is also named after my son, Dylan. He also helps with the company. He's a part of it. So he's actually was a part of me wanting to start the business back up because he works with me from time to time. And that's where we are. We got here.
That's a very wholesome way to start a business. Name it after your son. So, you wanted to be an actor?
Yeah, I mean, I still do stuff from time to time, but yeah, that was what I was pursuing at the time. So, I mean, I was acting, I was making clothes. I've always been a hustler, and I've always been very creative, and I always found ways to take my creativity and make money off of it. And then I just stumbled across the iced tea thing and the lemonade thing, and it just started really growing. So I actually put more of my energy and focus into the beverage business as opposed to all the other things that I was doing.
Yeah. So what made you go with barbershops and salons?
Because that's where there was the money at. Because I always used to hustle. I used to sell clothes and things like that. So if you wanted to get some money in the neighborhood, you go to where the money's at. Most people be in the barbershops and hair salons. And that's every week. So you know every Friday and Saturday what you can make and where you want to go, what time to start, what time to stop. I mean, products to have, you create a system. And that's what I did.
That's ingenuity. I never heard that.
Yeah.
So where are you from? Like, where'd you grow up?
I'm from Philadelphia. That's where I grew up, born and raised in North Philadelphia.
North Philly. I hear a lot about that.
Yeah. It's not, the North Philly that is today was not the North Philly that I grew up in. That's many years ago. The North Philly today is a lot different than what it was years ago.
Okay. And where'd you go to school?
I went to Massbond for high school, and then I went to community college and also Pierce College.
So, do you feel like community college and that college prepared you for where you are now?
I went to community college in 1999. A really long time ago. So, a lot of the information and stuff that I've learned back then is not what I'm using now. Now, I take a lot of master classes and a lot of seminars and a lot of private classes with like advisors and things like that to keep me abreast. But the knowledge that I've learned in school, it always sticks with me, but it's hard for me to pinpoint and say, hey, I learned this from school, because a lot of my stuff came from learning it on my own.
A real experience.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, real experience and like trial and error. I've been hustling t-shirts and cupcakes and juices for so many years that I understand customer service, I understand price points, I understand time management, I understand creating systems. But a lot of that stuff I learned on my own. I didn't technically learn that from school. Like now, it's a little bit different because the information and stuff that y'all use, and y'all can immediately apply it to whatever it is you're doing. Like entrepreneurship and stuff is so big. And then with social media, so much knowledge and so much information that I didn't have all of that when I was going to school. I didn't have all of those tools that you guys have. I had tools, but not the way that you guys can work with it and navigate through it. We didn't have that.
That's true. So do you feel like it was difficult to like figure that out on your own without help? Or was it just like you ain't care, you was just in it?
I think sometimes when you live in survival mode and you come from where I come from, you just make the stuff work. Period. There is no, it's not going to work. You just do it. And if it work, it work. If it don't, you just try something else. So, and growing up, like I said, coming from my environment, growing up in the inner city, you just do what you have to do.
Do you feel like growing up in the inner city, like, affected your mindset?
I think it helped a lot, because like I said, I turned lemon into lemonades and built a business, you know what I mean? Like literally, needed to make some money. What can I do? Let me buy some cupcake mix in a box. I made a lot of money off of that. And I was just selling cupcakes that was in a box. But people liked how they taste, so.
You had your own pizzazz to it.
I did. And I didn't change the ingredients. It's just the way I bake. But even with that, buying mix and making juice and living off of that for so many years on just a Friday and Saturday, and I'm making what people make in 2 weeks just on a Friday and Saturday, just building up a customer base. So I definitely feel like the inner city and growing up in my environment helped a lot. I feel like it helped a lot because you get rejection a lot, and you got to figure things out a lot. It's not easy, and the choices, you're not always given good choices to make good choices, but you got to take it what you got and make it work. And I'm good at making stuff work.
Sounds like. So once you decided to go with Dillonades, what was your next steps into even building your business? Because you already had, I'm guessing, somewhat of a customer base.
I did, but the customer base was a little bit different too, because before I was going to barbershops and hair salons. Now, when the pandemic came, I wasn't able to do that. But also, the streets is a little bit more different than how it was before. Like, I would never go to a barbershop and a hair salon selling anything right now because it's too dangerous. But when I was doing it, it wasn't like how it is now. And when I came back out doing it, I did pop-ups, so it was a little more safe. I did pop-ups at restaurants, pop-ups at supermarkets, and then I would do like the flower show or Dilworth Park. So I would then at a lot of known places, and that's how I built my brand back up. So I actually wound up gaining a new customer base and a more diverse customer base because of the places where I was actually doing pop-ups.
Okay, and then so what was your next steps? Because I'm trying to hear like how you really built your business out.
That was part of it, because what happens is when you have a product, a service, or anything, it's the people that help you grow your business. It's word of mouth, it's advertising, it's being in these places where you can create a repeat customer. So that's how that started for me. And coming in without having a lot of money for advertising, you gotta get creative. So whenever you see my displays are usually top notch because they attract attention, and people, they buy with their eyes. So they see something nice, they come over, then they pick up the product, and it looks fresh, and it's like, oh, what's this? Let me drink it. So all of that helps with building the product and building the brand. And that's how I built my company, was from doing those pop-ups. And then doing pop-ups in the supermarket, and then they offer you shelf space. So then you have shelf space, now you got a returning customer. And then you do pop-ups in the supermarket. I would do taste tests. And so people will come in, they taste the product, and then they know where they can buy it. So all of those things are what I use to build my company, which is more so like grassroots marketing. That's kind of like what I did. It wasn't no big budget. It's just like get creative. So hopefully that answers your question. That's how it starts, and you keep going. You keep building more stores, and as you build more stores, you on your back end, you build a stronger team. You got to start, getting more products. You got to start getting money to actually invest and put in your products so you can continue to scale it. But it all starts from those little inches that you take.
The little inches. Mm-hmm. So you was really putting that work in.
Yeah, I put the work in.
That's really amazing. I'm kind of running out of questions. You answer your questions very thoroughly.
It's always, for people that's watching that are entrepreneurs or just trying to become entrepreneurs or even start their own service business, whether it's a product, food, just do it. You know what I'm saying? Just like how the podcast, you just start from where you are. I think that's the biggest thing, and I think that's the one thing that I'm not fearful of, is just starting something with nothing, because shit, you starting with nothing. So how can you lose? You know what I mean? What you got to lose, you ain't got nothing but the game.
Yeah. So what do you feel like your next steps are?
My next thing we're working on right now is capital. I'm saying it wrong. Capital. This will be my first round with capital, and the goal is to be in 150 new locations next year, and grow from there. Yeah, the more locations you have, the more marketing you do, the more aware people are of your brand, the more opportunities that come. So me going into more stores and going into more venues and things like that, it'll bring more opportunity to our company. Mm-hmm. So that's our goal.
So if we were to have you back in 5 years, where would you want to be at? Like, what would you want to be able to say?
I want to be sitting up here saying, well, I have a CEO that runs the company now, and I'm here visiting you guys because I told you I was coming back. But in the next 5 years, I'm hoping to be in thousands and thousands of stores, honestly. And then by that time, to be actually working with a manufacturer, because right now we do a lot of things in-house, and we're responsible for our own distribution. So I'm looking forward to working with a manufacturing company that can handle all the tasks for us, and we can just go into working with a distribution company that can get our product out there way faster than we can. But also in the next 5 years, we'll have an expansion of products. So we'll have like water ice, we'll have Dillonades on the go, and we'll have like some concentrated mixes that you can make at home. So there's a ton of things that's on our product map that we're going to lean towards in the next 5 years.
What do you mean on the go?
On the go, basically, so you'll take a water bottle and then you'll take one of the packages of our Dillonades and you pour it in your water bottle, you shake it up, and you literally got a fresh lemonade.
Like the little electrolyte thing.
Like, yeah, but better than that.
Way better than that.
Yeah, you won't drink it and be like, this tastes like fresh lemonade. Yeah.
That sounds expensive. That's different.
Yeah, it's going to be different. It's take a little minute to put the concept together, but it's going to be amazing.
So what made you go with the flavors that you have now? Like I have the pineapple.
Yeah, I started with... When I first started my business, when I was on it as a hustle, it was just strawberry and pineapple. We didn't even do original because most people wanted the flavor lemonade. When I came up with the fresh lemonade, that's when I actually started doing original lemonade. I never did original lemonade. Just went strawberry lemonade or pineapple. And then it was iced tea. So I would do strawberry iced tea and tropical iced tea. And I just kind of just carried it over. Yeah, and we did peach iced tea. So, I just decided to take those flavors and make it with the lemonade. Now, the berry is a newer flavor for us because we were just doing like the strawberry, the peach, and the pineapple. So berry was new for us. And tropical, kind of, sort of, but not as much. But more so the berry was a newer flavor for us, and original.
So what's your favorite flavor, personally?
I'm berry, and then I'm also tropical.
Tropical?
Yeah.
I didn't get to try those.
Mm-hmm. Those are my favorites.
Okay. Are they your son's favorite too?
He's a peachy and a tropical. But then sometimes he like original, but peach is his favorite.
So how do you feel like him seeing you build this business out affects? Like
it's amazing, right? Because he gets to see, first of all, he gets to see that how hard I work, but he also gets to understanding of business firsthand. So you can see, at first he was a little, let me go back. At first he was a little shy because he didn't want to be called the lemon guy. That's what he thought people was going to call him, the lemon guy. I don't know why he thought that.
I understand why.
Now, he really, really understands what I'm doing, and he appreciates it so much more because he was doing this 15, he was 12 then. So he really appreciates it, and he sees, because I used to have to explain to him, like, bigger companies, they all started off small. So what I'm doing right now is building something that's greater, but you're here, you can witness it, you can see it, you can understand it. And I wanted him to be able to learn how to actually run the business the way that I run the business at this age. So then as he get older, he can come in with his ideas, his different concepts, and just, help really grow the business, because y'all the generation, y'all the younger generation, y'all are the ones that's going to make the future better. So I just wanted to make sure that he understands. So I enjoyed a lot having him work with me. And it gives us a chance to bond even more.
So do you plan on him taking over the business at any point in time?
That's his goal. He told me that recently, like, that's what he wanted to do. So I'm like, okay, let's get it right.
Gotta make sure he locked in.
Gotta make sure he's locked in.
And so where can you get these currently? Okay,
well, we are in some ShopRite supermarkets and Fresh Grocer, but on our website, there's a product. As a matter of fact, they can get it here at Lincoln University. What's the store you guys have?
The iCab.
The iCab? Yeah, so it'll be an iCab. They can get it there. But outside of there,
it's gonna sell out.
They can go to Dillonades.com. That's DILLONADES.com. So they can go to our website, and it'll have a store location map on there. So they can just click on there, and it'll tell them what stores have them.
Okay. I'm actually in awe because it's like I can see like how you told the story is very different than a lot of other people. A lot of other people is like, yeah, we just got in, did this. You're like, nah, I was hustling. I was going here.
Listen, I was telling them earlier today, entrepreneurship is something that you have to want. It is not for everybody. Every entrepreneur does not make money. Don't ever have nobody make you believe that they all do. It does come with freedom, but at the same time, you got to work.
Yeah.
But you can also have a job too for a main company or even a small company and make just as much as an entrepreneur. So don't let nobody ever convince you that it's not. But it's a lot of work, It's a lot of trials, tribulations. There's a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of doubt. There's a lot of rewards. It's a roller coaster being an entrepreneur. But it's a good experience, and you gotta really want to do it because other than that, you quit. It'll get too rough with you. You'll quit. It'll be nice that you can't sleep, that you're just trying to figure it out and trying to not make the wrong decision. And then sometimes you don't know if it's the right or wrong decision. So it's so many things that just come with being an entrepreneur that most people don't talk about. They make it seem like everything is so good, be your own boss. It's not that simple. Yeah, it's not that simple.
So what made you not want to not have that 9 to 5 or not work for?
I always hustled though, which I feel like is good, but then it's like it was always a catch-22 because I think when somebody is building a business, especially if you don't have a lot of capital, why am I not saying that right today? If you do not have a lot of capital, you should keep your job until you get to a certain point where you can really live off of your job. Off of your business the way that you could if you were working. Because what happens too is when you jump the ship too fast, you'll sink because you need to be able to cover your everyday expenses. And sometimes with businesses, when they first start, the first few years, you're really not seeing no money because you didn't have any to start with. So you're like growing as you go along. So you have to be very mindful of that as far as like your finances. So if you have a job and you're thinking about an idea, start the idea and just manage your time better. And you'll know when it's time to leave that job. But don't just feel like, oh no, I'm just start my own business. I'm gonna make a lot of money. That's not normally how it goes, especially with products and stuff. Maybe services is different because you're servicing somebody and you're getting paid right away. But if it's about products, you got to build a demand. You got to test your product. You got to know how to price your product. There's a lot of things that go with it. And then when you want to sell your product,
Yeah. I remember I started trying to make I did the Amazon and trying to do that. And it's like learning the amount of stuff I had to learn because I wanted to do it over the summer. So I was studying like every day, getting my price points, figuring out how I'm going to sell it. And it went up for a while. It was up for like 6 months. I had to take it down because I didn't have the time anymore to tend to it.
Right.
So I could definitely see where like you say like entrepreneurship.
Yeah, it's not easy. And another thing is too is consistency. You have to stick with it. Gotta stick with it. That's the hardest part because sometimes you have an idea where you want it to go, but you really don't know if it's gonna go there. So a lot of it is on faith. Like seeing something that ain't even there yet and just knowing like I know I'm gonna make it. You gotta feel it and really be connected to it. And I think once you're connected to it and you feel it, you'll be okay.
And so how long and like after you decided to start Dillonades, did you really did it go from a hustle to
like a couple months?
A couple months?
Yeah, because I started in October. My first pop-up was in October. I sent Master P a sample of my juices in October. And January 1st, he had tested it on his show called the Master P Reviews. And right there, so many people literally across the United States was buying our product and I was shipping everywhere. So he put me on his platform and that definitely helped get the attention that I needed. So it didn't take long for us to get into stores. And then like I said, I started doing pop-ups and pop-ups were so big and then just participating in like a lot of the community events where people like your product. And since they liked it and it looked good, when I told you about the displays and stuff, all that stuff played a major factor.
Yeah, your lemon display in there.
And that was small. That was small, but I had to do something so you guys can, get the product. But yeah, that's one of my smaller events. But yeah, normally I like to get them something to talk about.
All right. So how many people do you have on your team now working?
It's 5. Yeah.
5 people.
Yeah, and we're growing next year.
In national business, 5 people.
Well, national because we ship national. That's why. But we shipping from here. So it's not like we're in all these locations national, but we ship nationally, but we are still a local business.
That's dope.
Thank you.
That's dope. So how much product do you make a day? Or are you able to put out
We can do a couple thousand a day. Yeah, that's about the max we can really do with what we have right now. We're working on getting more equipment and building more stores. So, like I said, our goal for next year is 150. Even if we do half of that, would be dope. But I'm aiming for 150. But even with half of that, is going to require us to step up our game in terms of our equipment and stuff that we have in house. We're going to have to upgrade.
And when you say capital, because I'm just thinking about, you said that like that's what you're really focused on. So you just looking for investors?
Yeah, I have
some.
So we're working on that right now. Yeah, but like I said, this is my first round because you're going to go through several rounds with your business. Your first investor. Your first round is like your first investor who's going to help you get to a certain point, next level to scale. And then after that, you won't need another investor. So that'll be like your second round. And then you might need a third investor to get to where you're going. But it's like levels to it, steps. Yeah.
So you like crowdsourcing, or you just looking for one or two?
No,
investors?
I'm already no crowdsourcing. That was brought to me, that idea, but I haven't did that. More so going through an investor that I already built a relationship with. Yeah. And then, maybe the next time we have to do a crowdfund. I'm not sure, but right now we just got a couple investors that's going to invest in our product.
And do you feel like being a minority in this space affects you in any way? Or negatively or positively?
It can go two ways, right? So positive, because most people, especially with our culture, they want to support Black businesses, so people buy the product. Sometimes it's hard to get in certain stores when they see that you are black, you know what I mean? So that time it can be a little bit challenging. And then being on some shelves and being in the supermarket game is a little bit tricky too, because it's all about connections, it's all about relationships, right? So you can be in a store, and if those people don't really care for you, they really won't help push your product.
Yeah, you're on the bottom shelf.
Yeah,
you're not in the prime area.
Yeah, you're not in prime is everything. Real estate is very big with every store, whether it's a supermarket, a deli, a corner store. Real estate is big with your product. If people do not see your product, they will not buy your product. Don't matter how good it is. And I've had stores where I had to pull my product out because I'm telling them, you cannot keep my product at a lower shelf or keep it in the back because it's a high quality, it's a premium drink. Right? So if it's premium, it needs to be in the front so people can see it. And the shelf life is short, so it needs to be somewhere when they come in the store, they're ready to buy it because it can't sit on the shelf for more than 10 days. So I've had situations where I'm trying to tell them how to push the product, but at the same time, if it's somebody's store, they can hear you, but that don't mean that they really want to listen to it. Exactly. So you run into that. But for the most part, yeah, sometimes one of some stores, I would like to say, like, damn, I need to have me a more diverse team and instead of doing sales to get me in certain locations. Like, they don't have to see me. I don't really care. But it does. It can hinder you.
Yeah, it's a shame it's like that.
Yeah, it's the reality of it, yeah.
And you said short life, so shelf life, it only...
10 days.
10 days.
Probably 12, but on my label 10.
So how do you, so you just hope, you make sure they sell out quick?
So what I learned to do was to give a store what they need and not how much they want or how much I think that they should have. But more so based on what you need. Like some stores can do a couple hundred a week. My minimum is 36. That's it. Some stores can do 36. Some stores can do 72. Some stores can do 144. Some can do, like I said, 200. So it depends. So once we learn the traffic of that store, that's how we base our deliveries and our orders. That way I don't keep getting hit with returns. Because whatever doesn't sell, I take it back. But I try not to have a lot that I can take back.
You just throw it away?
Yeah, well, it depends. Sometimes I give them away, or I don't throw them away. I don't throw nothing away. But if they're not expired, if they're expired, we have to discard them. But if they aren't expired, if I pick them up on the 10th day, they're not really expired. I can get them away.
Oh, okay. So, with being an entrepreneur, being one of the main CEO, the big head, this hustler, how do you balance that with just the other aspects of your life?
Right now I don't have too much going on in that life, in that part of my life, and the personal part. But as far as with being a mom, just trying to manage my time better, trying to make it to a lot of my son's games and stuff like that he has going on with school. And sometimes it do be hard because if I'm working on something or if we got an event, sometimes I have to miss those certain things like games and stuff, especially in the summertime, which I don't like to do. But I do miss some events, so it is a little bit challenging. But I try to my best, to my ability, to make sure that we do spend time together. So while home working with me, it's time that we spending together and we bonding.
Okay. Gotta love it. I know son, mama's boy.
Yeah.
Gotta be with his name on the lemonade.
Yeah, right. Yep, Dillonades. And everybody at his school be like, Dillonades. Yeah,
so he is lemon boy, huh?
Yeah, he somewhat, yeah, but he appreciates it now, right? Before he didn't. I just think he grew into it to understand, like, it doesn't mean that you can't play ball. It doesn't mean that they're not going to know you for other things. He was younger, but yeah, he really likes it. So whenever they have stuff at school, he say, Mom, can you make some gallons? Can you do this? So, yeah.
All right. This is a new segment that I'm trying to make. Are you reading any books at the moment?
Chop wood, carry water.
Chop wood, carry water.
It's one of my best books. Yeah, it's just about the journey, falling in love with the journey. It's a really good book. It's an easy read. You can read it in a day.
Can read it in a day?
Yeah, chop wood.
Chop wood.
Carry water.
Carry water.
I was actually listening to it on my way. I got the hard copy and I had the Audible version. I listen to it all the time. I've read that book so many times. There's just so many lessons in there that you learn about just being consistent and taking your time. And like I said, enjoying the journey, because the journey of success, it can be very discouraging. It has, like I said, it has its ups and downs, but you got to enjoy those moments. Like, you can't skip steps to success. So you got to learn how to enjoy those. So everything is a teaching moment, and that's what the book talks about. No matter what it is a teaching moment, and just how you should view it. And if you view it that way, from that lens, make it easy to accept the challenges.
Yeah. When people say there's no such thing as wasted time.
No, it's not.
Learn something.
You learn something, depending on how you view it. Right? Yeah, it's all about perspective. So
change your perspective, change the world.
There you go. You changing the world, right? You're changing people's perspective with your show.
Yeah. Well, I would like to thank you for coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to ask, can you say, this is the Black Caliber Podcast? You got to say it in your sexy voice.
This is the Black Caliber Podcast.
Distinction at its finest.
Distinction at its finest.
Distinction at its finest.
Distinction at its finest.
And thank you for coming. It was lovely to have you.
You are welcome.
And we're out.
You good?